and the complexities of the task that is in our hands. I would like in particular to commend the Cabinet Secretary, because you do know that religious leaders tend to get rather emotional if they think that matters of significant fundamental concern are not given attention for the open door that you maintain, so that when we communicate and express concerns, they are acted on promptly and quickly, and remedial action is taken. When I commend you, this is to say we've not always received as much attention as we received from you in this endeavor. The religious community does not like to take an adversarial position with government on fundamental matters. The religious community has the interest of this country at heart, and that is the reason that we are inspired to engage very rigorously as need may be, because the things that we do in any milestone of the country have a bearing for generations to come. And a good foundation is absolutely critical if we shall secure the future of this nation. Like my colleagues have said, we are very, very pleased that the vision of this process is to produce an engaged, empowered, and ethical citizen at the end of the curriculum process and delivery of the education for this land. For us Christians, we would say, God doesn't make any junk. And so labeling children as failures simply because they didn't pass an exam is an affront on divinity, because God made all of us equal, and even though we may have varying abilities and capabilities in different areas, if everybody makes their contribution, then that makes us a nation. And thank you for affirming the place and role of every child. What are our expectations as we journey towards the conclusion of this process? That all Kenyans can channel their energies to support this process and make it a success by contributing in the opportunities that are provided. As a nation, we seem to glorify grumbling and complaining and differing, and there are arenas where that is possible. But matters curriculum and education are national. They are matters where we ought to channel our energies together. See, as you cannot spend the life of a nation in the design room. A day must come when we say we have designed enough, it is time to roll out. Not to say that there may not be any mistakes, but just to say that some mistakes can only be sharpened in our evaluation of them as we begin to roll out. As you know, no driver can learn driving on the table and become very competent in the driving school without ever hitting the road and figuring out how to tackle the challenges that are found. And so we commend the ministry and KCID and assure you of the support of the religious community in this journey. There's a lot that yet needs to be done. The concerns that are expressed about this being very, very expensive do appear legitimate, but you ask, how can it be expensive to form our children and our people and to prepare them for their future in a competent and solid way? It's a greater cost to have people that are poorly formed, who cannot build the nation and who can tear the nation apart, as we all worry about some of the attitudes that we see in our general citizenry that doesn't appear to promote a very patriotic outlook towards the nation. And so I join my colleagues to say the NCCK is totally committed to this process. And those of you who have been running the programs and the consultations that have gone on know we never said an apology. We are committed to be physically present, evaluating and agonizing with Kenyans to ensure that we nurture our nation appropriately. I am so pleased for the enthusiasm we have seen with all stakeholders, and I pray that as we come to the final stretch of the background preparation and begin now to engage in the concretes, that all the energies of our nation may be channeled in this direction. We appreciate very much, CS, your commitment to religious instruction. As you said in your remarks, it is integrated in our Constitution. As Kenyans, we have no apologies to make religious instruction integral in our curriculum, because we know it's not just important for the formation of our people as responsible citizens, but it is a critical life skill, the absence of which exposes our children and our citizens to trouble. We also appreciate your unequivocal support to the chaplaincy process and the PPI in our schools, and your assurance that government will explore ways of even channeling resources to support these processes. Majority of the people seated here who wield some measure of influence will go back and tell you they went into a school where there was a strong religious tradition. Possibly there was a chaplain and religious instructors that poured their lives into us. The values we hold did not come by accident. They were very intentionally and deliberately transferred to us by those who had faith. We cannot deny posterity and the future generations such a wonderful heritage that we have benefited from. And so, see, as I look forward to hearing less grumbling and complaint from Kenyans and a lot more positive criticisms and contributions where people say, if you did this, it will turn out better, because we do not have an alternative, but only to move forward. Thank you very much for listening to me. The Lord bless you.